I'm going to open the public hearing on the planning and zoning ordinance. And this is the third and final reading. And at this time we'd welcome any input from those in attendance pertaining to this adoption of this ordinance.
I'd like to correct what you said. I understood you to say this was part of the zoning ordinance, not part of the zoning ordinance.
Yeah, there's.
You're saying this is not part of the planning and zoning ordinance?
That's correct. This is a standalone ordinance.
Well, there are some things that Farm Bureau would take exception to, and that would be the permitting on anything zoned agriculture. And the fact that this ordinance does include a simple misdemeanor, which I'm not sure that county supervisors can enforce, and that has yet to be hashed out, but I think that's the case. Did you receive any call this morning, Earl?
Received one call from an attorney this morning, and we discussed the matter that this is not part of the zoning ordinance, and I'm not aware anywhere that there's any court ruling that municipal ordinances of simple misdemeanors cannot be enforced.
Okay, so this is a municipal rather than,
It's county. County and municipal is the same, I'm saying, yes.
okay. So would this apply to any agricultural building permits?
Agricultural buildings are not required to obtain a permit. Under this ordinance, they merely have to come in and get an exemption.
Okay,
There is no charge for that exemption.
all right.
They merely fill it out, an exemption would be issued. Now, where this does apply is if they have a sanitary facility for human use.
Yeah,
That's covered under state ordinance, and they've got to have a permit for that.
Yep.
They've got to have the inspection.
correct. Yep.
And that's the purpose of this, is that
Okay,
to ensure that people are coming in and asking for that inspection.
yeah, okay.
That this isn't a permit. They don't have to do a permit, but they need to tell us what they're doing.
Yeah.
They need to fill that out,
All
and
right.
then an exemption is issued.
All right.
Which there would be, like for the sanitary facility, I mean, that's been a requirement
Yeah,
all along.
all along.
Yeah, so that there would be no
And
change.
even with, I understand that those who are putting in larger finishing buildings do have to have a sanitary, I mean, they just can't go out there with amongst the pigs and let it fly, so they do need to have the,
Which is, I mean, that, we were discussing that a little bit this morning, and that's, when you have that volume of waste, it just seems ridiculous. But that's a state code. I mean, we have
yeah.
no ability. The only way we can make a change to that is at the state level.
Yeah.
But,
Well, that's just what I've been told. I just wanted some clarification on this, because if this is a separate ordinance to the planning and zoning ordinance, then, it's my misunderstanding.
we're with this, and then we've had some discussion in the three previous, without this, we have no ability to enforce any kind of requirement to get your permit or your exemption.
Yeah.
And so it's really necessary. to
Now,
have it.
let me ask this, who enforces this, and when does the violation commence?
The sanitary or the planning and zoning officer, that's where the application is submitted.
Okay.
It will be.
And that's who say farmer would go to file an exemption as well?
That's correct.
That's all.
And they're part of the assessor's office?
No, she's actually part of public health, it's a sanitarian.
Oh, over at the annex?
Yes.
Okay.
That's correct.
Well, I'm just trying to gather information
That's
from
fine.
the board of directors, because they're gonna wanna know.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sherry's been, Mrs. Wilson's been the sanitarian for quite a few years. And she agreed to take on any of this ordinance work or
Okay.
planning and zoning as a fee for
Fee for service.
Yeah.
And,
Now, is there a
Yeah, it
fee
works.
for the exemption then?
No.
Not at this time. We struggled through that, and we did, initially there was going to be, and that had been reconsidered, and
This is what they would need to fill out.
Oh, okay.
And then when it gets to it's clear that it's an agricultural,
Yep,
then
okay,
they have to get a building permit if it's not agriculture.
okay, all right.
Okay.
Okay, I see.
And that's for non-farm, if they're building a small factory building or.
Yeah, okay.
or, then
All
it
right.
falls under the permit.
Would I be able to keep this copy, or do you have a copy of it?
I can
Let's
keep
go
it.
ahead and have that, and just make another copy.
I think she
right
said
there.
she started writing this, she started filling it
Yeah,
out.
there was
Oh,
some, it looks
Yeah.
like someone was checking
Yeah.
some boxes there, so,
I can get one, I can go.
okay, I can use that, or if you could just take a
Take
copy
the farm.
over to the Farm Bureau
Yep,
office.
I sure will.
That'd be great. I
Yeah, I
appreciate
can't,
that.
I gave it to Sandy, she started filling it out this morning, so.
Okay. I know they're, once this comes out in the paper, then they're gonna ask questions, and I just need to have the answers at the next board meeting, wherever that is.
it's something, I feel it's something that's necessary, and I think we've kind of worked through and reconsidered, several of the spots, and this portion of what we're doing is really necessary, or there will, the whole thing will be pretty much useless without some kind of enforcement.
Well, like I say, the only thing you may want to check out is the penalty, whether the simple misdemeanor can be enforced, because this is a criminal offense. And whether that can be a part of the ordinance or not. I'm just asking questions here.
is it a civil matter?
It is a criminal offense. If it were part of a zoning, it would not be a criminal offense. But, yes, because it's a standalone, this in effect is a criminal offense to
Well,
refuse to.
and I'll reiterate that I was misunderstanding that this was part of the planning and zoning, because that's what it said on the agenda.
And that's no problem. I referenced it.
Yeah, okay.